So there was this one day during the summer where I took my dad on a kayak ride in the Swan River in Perth. That was a beautiful day. Everything went well until somewhere deep in the waters, there was this wave that came by and hit my dad's boat horizontally or parallel to his boat, which meant that his boat tipped over, he fell into the water, and it was panic mode on. Okay, he tried to get back onto his boat. This was his first time on a kayak, by the way, so he'd never practiced this before. He couldn't get on top of his boat, and so he started to get tired. Now, in that situation, I obviously panicked as well. Adrenaline kicked in, my heart rate went up. I didn't even think about it. I just jumped straight into the water, went up to him, tried to push him back into the boat or lift him into the boat, and we couldn't do it. Like, it was just too heavy for me to lift him up, and he struggled to balance himself in. And by the time we both realized we were really, really tired, you know, and we were in deep trouble, I looked back, where's my boat? At least get us to safety, right? And that boat had already drifted off, I would say probably about 50 or 60 meters away from me. Way too far from me in that state to swim up to it. Now, we were in a sticky situation there and we were panicking. How do we get out of this? Now, I'll tell you the rest of that story in a bit, but that same reaction I just felt, where heart rate went up, adrenaline was kicking in, and I was making bad decisions without thinking about it. Those sorts of reactions are the exact same reaction that most people feel when they are in a stressful state of mind. Now, that's the topic of this video. Why is it that most people struggle to get out of stressful problems? Is because they are still in a stressful state of mind when they are trying to come up with a solution to the problem. Now, for us to be able to think of better ways and do things better so that we get better outcomes, we have to understand first, well, what is stress in the first place? Now, I'm not a medical practitioner, so I'm not giving medical advice here. It's just an opinion and a collection of things that I've looked into. But I'll be including links to pretty much everything that I will be talking about in the description of this video if you want to do your own research, okay? But that being said, well, if we take a look at first, what is stress in the first place? Well, stress is actually a function of the body. It is an effect that happens when your brain produces something called cortisol. That's the stress hormone. Okay, now that's produced in something called the amygdala, which is connected to like the hippocampus and that part of the brain. And basically, you know, to simple things down a bit, what cortisol does is it makes your body, forces your body to run on sugar, burn sugar as its form of energy. Okay, sugar being glucose. What that does is for a short, brief amount of time, your heart rate will go up, your blood pressure goes up, you will get a short burst of energy, okay? But very quickly after that, you get tired, you lose energy, you feel fatigued. And that is a big reason why people who are stressed very often always feel tired all the time. Even if you did get a good night's sleep when you're stressed, the next day you still wake up feeling tired, okay? That's if you get a good night's sleep. If you don't get a good night's sleep, which is more often than not, that's what happens when you're stressed, then you feel even more tired even more, okay? And so, well, okay, so now we know that that's what the root cause of these symptoms are, the fatigue, the inability to think, to come up with new ideas, to think of creative ideas to solve problems. These are all inhibited or stopped in a way because of your body being in a stressful state of mind, in a stressful condition, okay? So therefore, if you want to overcome your problems, one of the biggest, most important things you have to think about is how do you handle or manage your stress, okay? And so that leads us to the next part, which is, well, what are some ways that you can use to cope with stress, to manage stress, to reduce stress, to even get away from things that cause you stress, okay? Well, there's a couple of factors that you can consider, and this is a collection of things I've looked into myself, things I've tried on myself, and to people who've come to me and said, I feel stressed, what should I do, right? So what are some things that I've personally found to work either for myself or for other people? The first one, really, really important, is sleep, okay? Not just the amount of hours that you sleep, not just saying I sleep 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours a day, but saying I have good quality sleep, feeling refreshed in the morning when I wake up. Now, a couple of things that will help you improve sleep quality is number one, routine. Okay, sleeping at the same time, waking up at the same time. That really, really helps. I personally find sleeping around about 7, 8, maybe 9 p.m. when it starts to get dark, waking up early in the morning, 4, 5 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m. in the morning when it's about to sunrise. I find that personally works for me, but of course, everybody's different. The second thing, besides having a regular sleep cycle, is also your bedtime routine when you are lying in bed, okay? Are you looking at your phone all the time? Because if you are, then what you're doing is you're stopping your body from producing sleepy hormones, okay? Your brain, the pineal gland specifically, has this function where it produces a sleepy hormone. It's called melatonin. Now, melatonin, it's actually not a hormone, it's actually an antioxidant as well. Sorry, it is a hormone. Now, melatonin's function, it has several functions, but one of them is to trigger your brain and tell it, I'm sleepy. Okay? And so when you're looking at your phone during the night, it's got blue light shining into your face and it's stopping you from feeling sleepy, because to produce melatonin, it has to be a dark room. That's why me personally, nowadays I sleep without using it. But when I was, coming off of that habit and removing myself from looking at my phone, I would actually cover my eyes with nightshades, things that cover my eyes during the night. Okay, and that kept things dark and forced me not to have that habit of looking at my phone and keeping myself awake. That really, really helps. And then the other thing that really helps with sleep is, of course, nutrition and supplements, okay? I find vitamin D3 and K2 really, really helps. And if I feel really sick, or if I feel I need that extra sleepiness, then I will sometimes take melatonin, okay, as a supplement. 30 minutes before I want to sleep, I'll take it and it'll relax my body and poof, off we go to sleepy land. All right, so that generally helps with that side of stress. The other thing is also the physical expression of stress. I find when with all the people that have come to me about stress, and myself personally when I'm in a stressful situation, I think the ability to express out the kept up stress in your body is really, really important. Like I see a lot of people be in stressful environments. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's their work, and they don't really voice it out. They don't really express it out. Now, everybody's way of expressing out stress, out meaning outside of your body, everybody's way is slightly different. For me personally, it's physical. So tennis, taking my dog for a run on the beach, cycling, walking to the markets to buy groceries instead of using a car. That personally helps for me. But of course, other people, sometimes they tell me they scream into a pillow, they punch a pillow, everybody's way of doing it is different. But that physical expression out, whether it's shouting, whether it's physical activity, I believe is a really, really important factor for getting that pent-up energy out of your body. Okay, at least for me it's worked. We can probably look into the medical science as to why in another video. And then the third thing is to reach out for help when you need it. Okay, for many, many, many years during my early career, I thought I had to do everything by myself. I was a solopreneur, a guy that did everything by himself. And so I did my marketing, I did my laundry, I did my cooking, I did my personal life, business life, everything. It was myself. That built up a lot of stress. And what I realized over the years is that, getting help, having other people who are better at you at the things you want done, right? Having help from people like that can really help reduce stress, allow you more time to focus on things that you enjoy or are more productive. And in general, get more stuff done at a less stressing level of stress. If that makes sense. That didn't really make sense, but you get what I mean. Okay, so in that scenario, getting help means, having a team do things together. Another way of thinking about it is when you are in a state of mind where you feel you can't cope and you just need an out, having a reliable, non-judgmental person to you know, listen to you as you express out, you know, whether you pay for that or it's a dear friend who, you know, don't do it too often because sometimes dear friends will stop being dear friends, right? But having that around is sometimes helpful as well. Okay, now putting all these factors together, there's probably other factors out there, and you know, you can put that in the comments if I've missed something that you feel is important, right? But doing things like this to be able to put your body in a non-stressful state of mind. Oh, another one is physically putting yourself in a relaxing place. But anyways, putting yourself in a non-stressful state of mind allows you, your brain, to stop producing cortisol, which will then allow you to regulate lots of bodily functions to a steady, consistent level. And that will allow your body to start producing things like serotonin, hormones that will allow for happiness, that will allow for you to be creative, for you to think of solutions to problems and think in a different way than the problem that created it. And that's a quote from Albert Einstein. He said, "You can't solve the problems of today or the problems that you created with the thinking that created those problems." And that brings us back down to that story I was saying earlier. So we're both stuck in the water. My dad couldn't get on top. My boat was far away and we were almost drowning. And then all I could think of was to shout and scream for help. And off in the distance, I got a reply. "Ahoy there, you need help, buddy." Another guy who was on his kayak paddled over, said, "Do you need help?" He stayed calm. He looked at us and said, "You want me to tow you guys back to shore?" We said, "Hell yes." And so he helped us gather the two boats. We dragged along, held on to his boat as he paddled back to shore. Everybody was safe, everybody's still alive, and it's a lesson learned for all of us. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that story and the lessons that we talked about in this video. If you liked it, subscribe to the channel and put a comment in the comment section about what we could talk about in future videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to check out these other videos right here.